This is Off the Cuff, and I'm Steve from TorahFamily.org. I recently saw a Facebook post that said, "Be mentally ready to lose everything you worked for in this world, that you may gain everlasting life in the world to come." Now, if that statement was made 10 years ago, we would have all said, yeah, that's a really good statement. But now that statement hits a little closer to reality than many want to confess. Which begs the question, are you willing to let go of the things of this world? It doesn't mean all the things of the world are evil. Not at all. There are lots of good, clean, fun things to do. However, what if there comes a time where a decision has to be made that forces one to choose the conveniences and pleasures of the modern world we live in over obedience to the word of Yahweh? What will you choose? As I've said before, it's okay to have things. Just don't let those things have you. It appears we could be facing a time where we find out if the things we have actually have us. With each passing day, it seems more and more we need to cling tighter to Yahweh. Now, it's not that you're not clinging to Him already, but it seems the times we're in are looking more and more like the history books where we've read about tyrannical leaders in the past, which also seems to confirm how history really is cyclical. Am I the only one who gets excited about something cool that could happen in the near future, but then you think, what am I thinking? The way this world is going right now, that will never come about. I mean, do you ever feel that way or have thoughts like that? I mean, surely I'm not the only one who struggles with that. It's like a constant struggle of trying to be calm, cool, and collective and taking one day at a time, but seeing how the things of this world are going and you just want to be done with it all. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, you have one foot on earth and yet the other one's like is halfway to heaven. But we know all this life is temporal. Nothing here lasts forever. And we know that which is eternal is on the other side of this temporary life. But applying what you know can be much easier said than done. So, that being said, let me give us a verse that we've all heard and read before. But here it is one more time to help it get in our heart. Mark 8:36. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world, yet forfeit his soul? One more time. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world, yet forfeit his soul? And again, it doesn't mean what you have is wrong or evil. However, when we hold loosely to the things of this world now, we will gain the world in the end. Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. This world in its current state is not our home. One more time. This world in its current state is not our home. John 15:19. If you had belonged to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. No government should be our protection. Only Yahweh through Yeshua. A time is coming when Yeshua will return. And yes, hard times and much deception will indeed come before then. But let it be known, in His kingdom, true justice will reign. There's a reason why Yahweh's judges were white and the judges of this world were black. Think about that for a moment. True justice and righteousness will reign supreme when He returns. Isaiah 6:9. For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. He came once as a lamb. He will return as a lion. Our hope is not in this world. Let me say that again. Our hope is not in this world. Our hope is in Him. Hebrews 12:2. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before Him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So even Yeshua looked beyond the suffering of the loss to that which was just beyond. Are you willing to endure hardships for what lies ahead? As the old saying goes, he is no fool who lets go of what he cannot keep to obtain what he cannot lose. The things of this world are nice, but they're temporary. As a parent, I love hearing my children laugh. I love seeing my children have a great time. Do we really think Yahweh is any different? Seriously. He longs to bless His children. He loves to see His children laugh and have a great time. The problem is, many believe those blessings only come on this side of eternity. Fact of the matter is, the other side is going to be so much better. When many left Egypt, they longed to go back because of what they had back in Egypt. Exodus 16. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by Yahweh's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate all the food we wanted. But you have brought us out into this desert to starve the entire assembly to death." The problem is, they were forgetting they were going to get all of that and so much more in the Promised Land. But it was hard for them to think about the Promised Land because of the situation they were in. There may come a day when that may happen again. But will you keep your eyes focused on what will be instead of what is? There's a saying I used to say a lot. This world is the only hell true believers will experience. This world is the only heaven unbelievers will experience. Are you willing to let go of the temporary to attain the eternal? There have been many times where I've pondered what the millennium will look like. That 1,000 years when Yeshua reigns on earth. And for what it's worth, I can see a lot of things we have today being around in the millennium. Now, not everything, but again, not everything is evil either. And anything, and I do mean anything, can be a distraction. We can allow friendships to be a distraction. So does that mean there won't be friendships in the millennium? Of course not. Silly, right? Now, I'm sorry, but I don't see the millennium as a time where we'll be just sitting around a campfire singing Kumbaya. It's going to be a time where we live and have fun. And I believe it will be a time of cool technology and the removal of harmful technology. I mean, there are going to be people filling the earth over this 1,000 years, and they're going to be required to come to the feasts. This is found in Zechariah. Let's read it. Zechariah 14:16. Then the survivors from all the nations that have attacked Jerusalem will go up year after year and worship the King, Yahweh Almighty, and to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. If any of the peoples of the earth do not go up to Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh Almighty, they will have no rain. If the Egyptian people do not go up and take part, they will have no rain. Yahweh will bring on them the plague he inflicts on the nations that do not go up to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. This will be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all the nations that do not go up to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. The question is, since this is required of people all over the earth, how are they going to get there? Walk? Horseback? Carriages? By the time they get home from the feast, they'll have to turn right back around and head back for the next one. No, there will definitely be new transportation that will enable people to travel long distances with no impact on the world we live in. I can personally see electrical technology taking off. I remember back in 2013, I saw a video of a guy who made a 24,000 watt generator that was self-propelling. I saw it working. It was crazy cool. Now, I can't find that video anywhere today. So, is that technology being suppressed? Most likely. That kind of technology would be world-changing. Every home could have their very own self-propelling generator. No more power outages from storms. No more ugly power lines and transmission lines going from town to town. No more coal-burning power plants. And that same technology of self-propelling generators could also replace batteries in electrical cars. No more pollution from gas and diesel engines. No more batteries filling up landfills. The point is, though, a time is coming when true justice reigns supreme and not perverted justice brought out by the rich or lofty corporations that suppresses technology. Technology that truly creates a green environment and not just a pretty picture of it in a commercial. I'm not saying now that's exactly how it's going to happen in the millennium. I have no idea. However, I can see it. And I do know this. Whatever is going to happen, whatever it's going to look like, I can promise you it's going to be so much better than today. It's going to be so cool that I don't want to miss it. And Yeshua will be there teaching all to walk in the truth. Isaiah chapter 2. In the last days, the mountain of Yahweh's temple will be established as chief among the mountains. It will be raised above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways, so that we may walk in his paths. The law will go out from Zion, the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore." No more war anywhere. No more questions or debates about the Bible. He'll be there to explain it all. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. The other side is going to be so much better than what we have today. We have to get that understanding in our hearts now. I remember hearing stories of martyrs and how they died so valiantly. And I remember thinking, man, how could they do it? But I really believe it's because they held loosely to the things of this world, knowing they had so much more waiting for them on the other side. They knew it's going to be so much better. To those around them at that time, it looked like they were losing everything. But in reality, they were gaining everything. Fear of the unknown is not fearful at all when you're holding your Father's hand. Psalm 73. Yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. Isaiah 41, for I am Yahweh your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. Hold on loosely to the things of this world and hold tight to his hand. He will see us through whatever lies ahead. Enjoy the blessings of life, yes, but never forget Yahweh has something much better for you on the other side. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. Well, that's all I have. Think about it. Pray about it. But more than anything, be a doer of the word and not a hearer only. Until next time, Shalom.